What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks and financial institutions, and most importantly, how to get you access to high limit credit funding. If you're new to our channel, we welcome you to subscribe. Otherwise, you can like, share, or comment down below. It helps our content reach a wider audience, and we appreciate the support. Now, I know recently a lot of people have become upset that some of these trade lines that a lot of people have been using over the years are starting to drop off of people's credit reports and are becoming a lot less reliable when it comes to reporting to the credit bureau. So I wanted to provide a solution to that. Now, one of the best ways of building credit is not through these store types of accounts, but rather through bank issue types of accounts. Now, so I'm gonna be sharing with you some additional credit resources that you could use that are a little bit more reliable and are bank issued accounts. Now, there's a big distinction between a bank issued account versus a store credit type of account. Now, there are certain store credit accounts that are backed by major banks like Synchrony Bank, TD Bank, or Citibank. So those are more aligned with bank issued accounts. I'm talking about the accounts like My Jewelers Club, Hutton Chase, New Coast Direct. Those aren't bank issued. Those are more like store issue types of credit. They're not backed by a major financial institution. Now, there's a difference in how those types of accounts are factored into your credit. So when underwriters look at a bank issued account, that holds more weight than a store type of account that's not backed by a major financial institution, because those store types of accounts, as a lot of you know, New Coast Direct, My Jewelers Club, AG Jewelers, Lygos, all you're basically doing is signing up, paying a fee, and having that particular account report on your credit. It's not any type of underwriting process that you go through, and lenders and underwriters understand the difference, because usually when you're applying for a bank issued account, there is some type of underwriting or analysis of your credit worthiness. So in the long run, it's best to build bank issued accounts. So I know a lot of people are upset, but it's going to be all right because there's a better way to go about it. So I'm gonna be sharing with you some entry level types of secure credit cards as well as unsecured cards that you can use to build a solid foundation. Now, when I was building my credit, there were a lot less options. In 2021, there's a lot of options when it comes to building credit. And a lot of that is because of all of the different fintech companies that are now available. So there's a ton of great options. So I wouldn't be discouraged if you did have My Jewelers account and it dropped off your credit report. I'm gonna share with you some other options. So I was able to dig through my sock drawer and pull out some of my older accounts that I was able to acquire as I was building up my credit, 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm just going to start. Now, I love secure credit cards. Now, I'm going to go over some secure credit cards that you can get to help build up your credit profile. So first, I'm going to start off with the Harley Davidson Visa. So this is backed by U.S. Bank. So you could try this one or any U.S. Bank secure credit card. They do have a path to graduation. So the great thing about secured credit cards is that you put a deposit down. It's easier to get approved when you put a deposit down, and it's not always guaranteed. There's certain secured credit accounts that will deny you even if you do put down a deposit, and then there's a certain that are guaranteed approval. Now with US Bank, I don't think it's guaranteed approval, but the underwriting is much easier compared to their unsecured credit cards. So US Bank, so this is the Harley Davidson, but there are other secure credit cards from US Bank that do graduate after certain periods. So that's a great way to not only build a banking relationship and you're building credit, and once the secure credit card graduates, then that opens you up to other credit cards that are offered from that particular financial institution. So that's another great tool with using secure credit cards. You're getting your foot in the door, and then you'll be eligible for other unsecured credit cards, and you've already demonstrated that you have the ability to repay and you're a responsible borrower from manage the secured card first. So again, that's the Harley Davidson. The next one I wanted to go over, and this is probably my favorite, and this is the Navy Federal End Rewards. This one graduates, from what I'm hearing, it can graduate in as little as 3 months. Now, when I got this was the first Navy credit card that I ever got. So I put down originally a $5,000 deposit, but then It took too long. I was a little impatient, so I drew down on my deposit, and so then it was $500. So I went from 5,000 to 500, and it took me about a year for it to unsecure. When it unsecured to $2,000. Now, right now, I have 3 Navy Federal credit cards over $50,000 in available credit. So secure credit cards are a great way to just get your foot in the door. And one thing you have to think about too, you get your deposit back. I think a lot of people look at secure credit cards and think that it's costing them, but for the most part, secure credit cards usually don't have any type of annual fee. You get your money back and you get to keep the credit. So you're basically kind of doubling up, right? I turned a $500 into $2,000, and since I've gotten credit limit increases. So a secure credit card is still a great tool, very, very underrated. So that's the Navy Federal and rewards. Let me see. Another great secure credit card is the Discover It credit card. This was another credit card that I got. I think I started with $200, right? All I had was $200. Now this unsecured in about 7 months like clockwork. And then I got a check back. So they sent a check and then I got a credit limit increase. And since I've gotten several credit limit increases, so Discover It is still a great way to build your credit. And again, these are all bank issued accounts, so they're going to hold more weight. And the great thing about Discover It, once your secured credit card graduates, you can do a product change to a rewards credit card. So you could earn, this particular card earns 5% back rotating categories. So Discover It is still a great way to build bank issue credit. And next up, so this is probably my favorite secure credit card. This is the TD Bank Cash Rewards credit card. So a couple things about TD Bank. So this particular credit card, you used to have to go in branch in order to apply. Now what you can do, they have an online application where you can submit an application, and then if you get approved, then you may have to go in branch and provide your security deposit and things like that. But with this particular credit card, I put down, and I remember I got my income tax money and I put the entire amount. I had about like $5,000. That's the max that they allow you to put down. So I put down $5,000, and after 8 months, it graduated to an unsecured credit card. So I got all of my money back, right? So I withdrew my $5,000. I got to keep the credit limit. And then here's a little secret about the TD Bank Cash Rewards credit card. After it graduated, they allow you to add authorized users. So if you do have family members that you want to put on your account, they allow you to add up to 25 people onto your account. Not that I'm encouraging you to do that, but that's just a little extra information for you. But this is a great secure credit card. They have 3% on gas, 2% on groceries, and like 1% on all others. So this is another great option. Now, it may be geographically restricted in certain areas. I know they're along the East Coast, maybe not the case on the West Coast, but TD Bank Cash Rewards. So I think that's all of the secure credit cards that I have, but I did want to go over some of the other cards. All right, so now you have secure credit cards, but then now you have fintechs, right? So this is the Tomo credit card. So Tomo is one of the latest fintechs that offers a Mastercard. Now, this is more of a charge card. Now, recently, as a matter of fact, I think it was yesterday, I saw that the Tomo credit card reported on my credit report. Now, I got this credit card not really out of necessity, but just, to gather research and data points. But it did finally report, and I think it's been at least 3 months since I actually got this credit card. But it is reporting, so this is another great option to help you build credit. And the Tomo credit card does not do a hard inquiry. So they're using the Plaid API. They're checking your bank account and everything like that. And they gave me a $5,000 limit on this particular Mastercard. So Tomo is still a great way to build credit, and there's no credit check. So you could definitely check that out. Another great option is called Grain. So I did a review several months ago. Grain is another fintech that allows you to have a line of credit. Now, this is a digital line of credit. You don't get a card or anything like that, but you basically Go through the Plaid API. They approve you for a limit. I think the highest limits that I've seen go up to $1,500. So after you get approved for that, then you can withdraw from the app to your checking account and take the money, or you could just even swipe your debit card and it helps you build credit. So that's another great option. Next up, I'm going to share with you, these are unsecured credit cards that you can get when you're starting out, or if you have fair credit. So the first one I want to go over, and I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but Credit One. So I did get Credit One way back in the day, one of my first credit cards. And to be honest with you, I never really even swiped this. I just kept it active and open. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Credit One. I'm not the biggest fan of Credit One, but if you're in a situation where you're starting out and you're trying to just get bank issued accounts, you could definitely check it out. But would I recommend Credit One for someone who already has decent credit and they have other options? Not necessarily. But if you're at that point where you're under a 600 credit score, then you could definitely consider it. Another decent credit card is the Olo Mastercard. Now, the Olo Mastercard, it's for fair credit. Now, you can apply for it directly. You have to be invited. So one of the ways to get an invitation is through what's called optoutprescreen.com, and you have to opt in. I'll post a link in the description and pin it in the comments, but optoutprescreen.com is basically you're given permission for the credit reporting agencies to share your data and information with different credit card issuers so you can get pre-screened, pre-qualified types of offers. Now, there's a lot of credit cards where you can't actually apply for them directly. You have to get an invitation, and I'm going to go over a handful of them. So a couple other ones that I also have the Legacy Visa. This is another one, sock drawer card I don't really use. Got the annual fee waived, so I think this one has like a $2,000 limit, and I don't use it whatsoever. Maybe once a year just to keep it open. But that's another one you can get through optoutprescreen.com. You also have First Savings credit card. This is another one through Opt-Out Prescreen. I think this is a $2,000 limit as well. The Blaze Mastercard, another credit card for fair credit. And then another good one that I like is the PayPal Mastercard. So the PayPal Mastercard, and a little bit about this particular credit card. So I got this credit card initially with a $300 limit. And over the years, I've used it. It's 2% unlimited cash back. Now it has a $10,000 limit. So I went from a $300 limit to a $10,000 limit. And one of the great things is the credit limit increases. It's just a soft pull, so they're not hard pulling you. And this is a great credit card to get if you're beginning or new to credit, because you can get credit limit increases over time and the limit can grow really fast. So remember, $300 to $10,000. And I barely use this credit card nowadays, but it's a great option. Next up, so we have the Target Red Card. I like this card. Now, one thing about the Target Red Card, you can get it with fair credit. And after a couple years, you could actually transition to a Target Mastercard. So the Target Mastercard you can use outside of Target. So that's another great benefit of the Target Red Card. And then last one that I wanted to show was the Merrick Bank Double Your Line credit card. So I actually got two different Merrick Bank credit cards. So I actually had the secured Merrick Bank credit card. I found out that it doesn't unsecure, so I canceled it. But then I was able to get the Merrick Bank Double Line. Now, Merrick Bank has since added an additional product. So they have the Merrick Bank Secure Credit Card where you put down a deposit. They still have that one. I don't necessarily recommend that one. They still do hard pull your credit. But they do have it's kind of like a semi-secured credit card. So you put down $200 and then after 7 months, they'll double your limit to $400. So that's their new product. It's like a semi-secured credit card. And then they have the Merrick Bank Double Your Line credit card. So this one, when I originally got it, I got a $900 credit limit. And after 7 months, they doubled the limit to 1,800, and it's been that limit ever since. And that's another card that I don't even use anymore. But whole point I'm trying to make is that there's other options out here to build your credit using bank issue types of accounts. So I just wanted to share these different options for building credit. Now, I know a lot of people are disappointed with some of these other trade lines, but bank issue credit is definitely the way to go. You build out a solid foundation, you build up data points, and then you can move on to bigger and better types of credit accounts. So that's all I wanted to share for today's video. Until next time, y'all take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.